Welcome inside the Lions Den, a show dedicated to everything Cambridge Lions football. My name is Darren Stevenson, and thank you for joining us here on 519 Sports Online. This week we look back on big wins for the senior Varsity Lions, as well as the Bantam squad, plus Kyle Quartz takes over the 519 microphone to interview Jeremiah Ferguson. Stay tuned for that a little later in the show. First up, though, let's check in on the senior Varsity Lions, and they were at home last Saturday night battling the Ottawa Sooners, and it was a low-scoring affair in Week 7. Here are the highlights from last Saturday between the Lions and the Sooners. This game was a defensive battle all night long. Greg Thomas breaking through, and he takes down Carew Chambers for a sack. Then it's the Sooners looking long, but there is Joel Gilmore. The Laurier Golden Hawks commit with the interception. The Lions taking over possession, and more defensive gems. Once again, it's Greg Thomas delivering. Thomas with 2 sacks in the first quarter. We are scoreless after 1. Second quarter, a nice passing play by the Sooners. It's a deep ball for Kasim Ferdinand. He makes the catch. Ottawa, though, would miss a field goal, so they continue to lead 2-0. Next Sooners possession, Braden Lefkis with a clear path to the quarterback, and it's an 11-yard loss. Lefkis with the sack. Still in the second, it's a bad snap. The ball is loose. Both teams trying to get their hands on it. It's bouncing around. Braden Berry picks it up, and here goes Berry. He charges down the field and gets the ball inside the 5-yard line. Cambridge would end up with a field goal after the turnover, and they take a 3-2 lead as we move to the third quarter. Michael Warner rolling left, and his pass intercepted by Denny Ferdinand. The Sooners, with good field position, looking for the lead. They get the ball down near the goal line, but the Lions defense coming through. It's a goal line stand by Cambridge, and they still have a 1-point lead. More from the Lions defense. The ball tossed up. Josh Gilpin picks it off. What a huge play that is. The Lions taking over possession on the 1-yard line after a big play by Gilpin, and they capitalize on the turnover. Elijah Paulson fires to the end zone. Ian Kuwabara with the catch. Touchdown Lions. Kuwabara giving Cambridge a 10-2 lead late in the third quarter to the fourth, and the Sooners looking to get something going. Long pass, but there is Logan Hall, the Jacob Hespler star and Carleton Ravens commit with an interception. Ottawa's drive is done, and it only seems fitting we end this highlight pack with another sack by Greg Thomas. He was a force on Saturday night, helping the Lions pick up the win. Cambridge is now 4-2 this season after a 10-2 victory over the Sooners. Ian Kuwabara scoring the only touchdown of the game in the third quarter.
I think we definitely needed to go out there and execute on offense better, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's just about doing our job, and I think next game and throughout this week we're going to be doing that, and that's going to be our main focus. I just kind of went out, decided to do my job, and then luckily, everything lined up for me perfectly. Got the touchdown, just caught it.
Ian Kuwabara scoring the only touchdown of the game, helping the Lions improve their record to 4 wins and 2 losses this season. And with another victory this Saturday night, Cambridge will clinch a playoff spot. Now, earlier this week, we had the opportunity to catch up with senior varsity head coach Jackson Yonkis to get his thoughts on this weekend's matchup against Mississauga.
They're a good team, right? If they play a good game, they can beat us, no problem. Right, and just like any team in this league, it does not matter who you play. If you don't play your best football, you give the other team a chance to beat you. And we're certainly, that's our goal every day, is try and play our best football. The goal isn't to beat a certain team or to win a certain number of games or score a certain number of points. It's to play our best football. And Mississauga's got some good athletes. They do some interesting things on offense and defense. Our guys are really motivated to play better. And I think part of that is the injuries. We haven't had a lot of guys play in all 6 games, so we have a lot of hungry guys that are either coming off injury or a lot of guys who have missed a couple games early in the year. So it doesn't really feel like the middle of the season, I think, for a lot of the guys. We're excited to have an opportunity this weekend to book our ticket. And like we say every week in this league, man, you got to play well.
It's the Senior Varsity Lions hosting the Warriors here on Saturday night at the Jake. Kickoff is at 7:30. The Lions trying to improve to 5-2 this year and punch a ticket into the OPFL playoffs. The Junior Varsity Lions were also at home last Saturday as they continued their pursuit of a playoff spot, and it was a critical game for the JV Lions. Here is a recap of last Saturday afternoon's contest against the Ottawa Sooners. Cambridge deep in their own end, but Jeremiah Ferguson is about to change that. He finds some running room down the far side, and look out, here goes Ferguson. He turns on the afterburners and runs the length of the field for a touchdown. Fantastic from Ferguson, and the Lions strike first. They take a 7-0 lead. Later, this is Jack Ashby-Jacobs on the punt return, and how about this? He hurdles over the defender and takes the ball almost to midfield. Great play there. Same Sooners possession. Quarterback Justin Shibley over to Patrick Mendoza-Sod, and he is going to tie the game. Mendoza-Sod runs it in for a major. That's a 26-yard touchdown. We are knotted at 7. Next Ottawa possession. The handoff to Ethan Roca. He finds some running room. Roca taking the ball down to the 23-yard line. Eventually the Sooners have the ball inside the 5, and they cap off the drive with a QB keeper. Justin Shibley punches it in from 1 yard out. Ottawa has their first lead of the game. It's 13-7. Third quarter, more Sooners offense. It's Shibley connecting with Joshua Catalusi, and the visitors driving, trying to extend the lead. And a few plays later, Ethan Roca taking the handoff. He gets to the outside and finds the house. Roca with a nice run, giving Ottawa a 12-point lead. The Lions looking to respond. QB Ethan Evely connecting with Ethan Gill, and it's ruled a complete pass and a fumble. Jeremy Catalusi picks it up and goes the other way. He runs it back to the 17-yard line. The Sooners back in the red zone after the turnover, and they would capitalize. This time the handoff goes to Andrew Araqua, and he scampers in for a touchdown. The Sooners starting to pull away late in the third quarter. It's 25-7 as we move to the fourth. The pass over to Brody Bampton. He makes the grab and dives into the end zone. That TD making it 31-7 Sooners. Later, some nice plays by the Lions. Ethan Evely scrambling around. The fans get all excited and raise their umbrellas. Caleb Hamilton, the catch for a touchdown. Good pass, great catch, big umbrella. Then it's Cody Highland to Spencer Speakman for another touchdown. The Lions with a couple of TDs late in the game, but they fall by a final score of 31-20 to the Sooners. Cambridge falling to 1 win and 5 losses this season in JV football. Jeremiah Ferguson charging downfield was certainly one of the highlights for the Lions in that tough loss last weekend, but Ferguson has been a force on the ground all season long. His future is bright in the Lions program and potentially beyond. JV head coach Eric Krebs with some high praise for his star running back.
Even compared to last year, Jerry has come so far as a football player, understanding the mindset, understanding, what it takes to be a great football player. I'm really excited with how he came back this year and everything. Me and him had a lot of really good positive talks in the backfield. I'm really excited to see where that kid goes moving forward. It's going to be awesome.
Jeremiah Ferguson ripped off a long run, as you saw last weekend against the Ottawa Sooners. A terrific play there. We've seen you do it before this season, but obviously there was that flag in Kingston that brought that one back. What did you see on the play, and how big was that touchdown at the time, going all the way the length of the field, Jeremiah?
I knew I was at the 1 yard line, and I expected to get the ball, and I was just hoping for a nice first down, but my O-line worked together, and I saw lots of gaps, and an amazing block by Caleb Hamilton just made a gigantic hole for me, and I saw open field, and I knew I had to get the touchdown. So, I gave it all I had and just took off.
It really was a great play. Obviously, part of individual success is team success as well. How do you evaluate your season? I've seen some great plays from you. I think you've really grown as a player. Why have you grown, though? Why have you developed this year in the Cambridge Lions program?
I have, great teammates. Eric Laffin is a big part of that, always pushing me, being encouraging, Cito too. And, just having, a good bond with your teammates and, trusting that they'll, always be there for you. And when the big moments, like the being down there on the 1 yard line, when big moments like that happen, you can rely on your teammates and, stuff like that.
Obviously, it hasn't been the season you've liked in terms of your record, but let's focus on the bigger picture here in terms of how the team has gelled together, some of the good things that you've seen from the group this season. It seems like the playoffs are going to be a bit far-fetched at this point, but at the end of the day, it's still been a successful season in other ways. What are some of those things that you look at and say, this has been a good season because?
Even though our record, hasn't all been there, as a team, we've definitely grown. Every unit, we've gotten better and better, from defense to offense, to, just respecting each other, to, not getting down. We feel like a big family now, and, even though we might not be in playoffs, we're still having fun, and this has been one of my funnest seasons yet.
Last home game of the season coming up here on Friday night, 7:30 at Jacob Hespler against Mississauga. What would it mean to you to finish off your home schedule with a victory here on Friday night? And quite honestly, how do you plan to do it?
We might not be making playoffs, but, a big win on Friday night would mean so much for, the coaches and, the team. Just, one last hurrah. This team, might not have a lot of wins just like us, but it's going to be a battle. But if we keep working hard just like we did against Ottawa, one of the top teams, I feel like at this point we can win, beat any team in the province.
Thanks for the time, Jeremiah. Heck of a run last Saturday. I certainly enjoyed putting it on 519 Sports Online, and good luck Friday night.
Thank you.
Before our interview with Ferguson, Kyle Quartz decided to try his hand at being a reporter. Quartz took over the 519 microphone to interview Ferguson. Here is Kyle Quartz.
I'm Kyle Quartz with the Cambridge Lions Junior Varsity team. I'm here with Jeremiah Ferguson, and I guess you had a nice run on Saturday against Ottawa. I don't know how long it was, like 100 yards or something. What are your thoughts on the What are your thoughts on the run?
Cut.
What's he gonna say? I ran good.
What do you want? Yeah, what do you want? Can you change the question?
I'm Kyle Quartz with the Cambridge Lions Junior Varsity team. I'm here today with Jeremiah Ferguson, and you had a big run against Ottawa on Saturday. What was going through your mind when you made that run?
Just looking for the gaps and not expecting much, just taking my time. Caleb Hamilton making an amazing block on two guys, just opening the lane, and I saw open field and I just took off.
Okay, that's all I got, to be honest. That's the only question I have. So what are your thoughts going in this game against Mississauga on Friday?
Keep our team encouraged. Take every play slow.
Back to you, Darren.
Great job, boys. Good to see you having some fun learning the ropes of reporting. Quartz, Ferguson, and the JV Lions hosting Mississauga on Friday night at Jacob Hespler, looking to close out their home schedule on a winning note. Once again, here is Eric Krebs with his pregame thoughts.
We still get great attendance out to practice. We still got guys who come out and want to play football, who want to get better, and you know what? I think that we deserve a win at this point. We've been in a couple of really close games. We stuck at Ottawa pretty well. We were a tight one in Niagara. Kind of laid an egg on Burlington or whatever. But you know what? This is another winnable football game, like every game in the OPFL is. But it's going to be very, very competitive.
Time now for our feature interview of the week here on the Lions Den, and we're excited to be joined by Bryn Palin, who is a linebacker as well as a defensive lineman with the Junior Varsity Lions. You're a busy guy playing all kinds of different positions. How's your experience been so far this year, Bryn?
Oh, it's been wonderful. I mean, coming out to practice 2 times a week and then we have a game. I've never played football before except for high school 1 year. So this is completely new. It's leaps and bounds difference from high school. I mean, people say it's different, and then you get here and it's different. It's nothing like you'd ever imagine, and it's exactly what I like. I love this sport. Yeah.
What have you learned, and how are you better off as a player with Eric Krebs, with all the different coaches here, and playing your first season of Cambridge Lions football?
I definitely have to give it to the atmosphere of the team. There's no rivalries on the team, and we love our coaches, so we'll do anything we can to make our coaches proud, each other proud, and just keep hitting it hard on the field.
I know a lot of you were proud last week when you saw Jeremiah Ferguson rip off that long run. That was one of the amazing moments that have happened over the course of this season. Yes, the record is 1-5, but I bet if I ask you, there's so many things that stand out to you of great moments, good teammates, all of those things. Can you share with us some of those positive experiences that you've had despite the 1-5 record, Bryn?
Well, I mean, just last game, I got a blocked punt, and then my brother caught it and ran down the field. So
Your twin brother, I might point out as well.
Brother, yeah, exactly. So he got that chance to take it down the field. Unfortunately, he got caught, so he didn't get the touchdown. So, but yeah, that's really good.
Express to me what it is like playing with your twin brother. That's obviously really neat for you guys coming on to the same team. And, you know, you come in together, you learn together, you grow together. You said you're passionate about the game, and maybe you see a long-term future for yourself as well as your brother in football.
Yeah, well, my brother and I have always stuck together, been a team, and just this year, playing high school football, he wasn't playing with me, so having him here on the Lions with me is definitely, it feels more natural than not having him here with me because we played hockey for 7 years all together, so yeah.
What are you going to take back to the St. Benedict Saints? You're going into your first year of senior football in District 8. Joe Vale and Rob Lowe, the coaches at St. Benedict. What are you going to take away from this that you think you can bring to District 8 football? Because I think the experience here can really help you be a leader in high school football and help you teach your teammates.
Yeah, definitely the intelligence of just knowing more, right? So we have really good coaches. I mean, one of our coaches played in the CFL, my linebacker coach. So having that intelligence and bring it back to Benny's and then bring it to the new players to the sport, it's just, I mean, it's a great learning experience. Everyone has fun all the time. And, I mean, you just got to work hard. And then I'm definitely going to bring physicality to the team. I mean, you got to hit hard to play hard.
Final home game of the season, Friday night. I assume you're going to hit hard and play hard as well. Yeah. Should be fun here. What would it mean to you guys to close out your regular season home schedule with a victory? And how do you size up Mississauga?
Well, Mississauga is a really good team, and apparently, well, what our coaches have told us is they're very athletic, and they got some stud football players, so that's going to be a tough matchup. So we're just going to have to keep level-headed and focused, and we can't bring each other down, so we just got to keep hyping each other up and keep going.
Great job this season, Bryn. We've all enjoyed watching you in your first season with the Lions. We appreciate the time here on the Lions Den.
Thank you.
And this segment of the Lions Den has been brought to you by Homewood Suites of Cambridge Waterloo. Call now to learn more about their special sport rate offer at 519-651-2888. Time now to check in with the Bantam Lions and a huge game last Saturday with the unbeaten Ottawa Sooners paying a visit to the Jake. Here are the highlights from Saturday's showdown between the top two teams in the East Division. It's a solid run by Keaton Gert. He gets it down inside the 5-yard line. That led to a field goal. Cambridge with a 3-1 lead after one. Second quarter, Ottawa trying to move it on the ground. Jesse Jansen says no way. He makes the tackle in the backfield. The Lions now with the ball. Quarterback Miles Foote tosses one up. Damian Plausto with the reception. Cambridge would get a field goal steal on the possession, and they take a 6-1 lead. Later, Tyson Paul with a catch for a touchdown. Cambridge looking strong. They are up 13-1 over the unbeaten Sooners. Still in the second, Ottawa coughs it up near midfield. It's a fumble. Ryan Wolf pounces on it for Cambridge, and they are looking to strike again before the half is over. And how about this play? Miles Foote with a long bomb. Damian Plausta the catch, and he is going to score. 54 yards for the Major, and the Lions with a 19-point lead. The Sooners now looking to close the gap. Xavier grabs the low snap, and that's Dylan Nakamura in the end zone. It's a 23-yard passing play. Ottawa is now trailing by 12 as we move to the third. The Lions in the red zone. Jesse Jansen battling his way in for the score. Double J extending the Lions' lead. Jansen makes it 27-8. Fourth quarter, now this is Logan Abdul Kareem with a sack. He was outstanding on D on Saturday, and everything going right for Cambridge. Miles Foote fires to the back of the end zone. Tyson Paul, his second TD of the day. The Lions with a massive victory as they hand Ottawa their first loss of the season. 34-8 is the final. Cambridge improving their record to 6 wins and 1 loss this season.
I feel like offensively, we were driving the ball really well. We were holding our blocks and throwing the ball, like passing the ball. We had a lot of completions, and it was all around our overall for offense. We played a really well game.
It was a hitting battle. It's definitely a hitting battle. Well, we didn't have much time to practice this week with getting rained out on Thursday. Our defense did a hell of a job. Like I said, we had no time to practice much for defense, and they came out here and we hit them we hit them. All I gotta say is that's the team we are. We come over any adversity, and we're just gonna hit you. We're gonna beat you.
So the Lions now in the driver's seat for home field advantage in the OPFL playoffs. The Bantam boys going into the bye week with a record of 6 wins and 1 loss. They are playing extremely well. The team is confident, and they will now get a little bit of rest before they play their regular season finale on the road against the Essex Ravens. Here are a pair of Tysons talking about the confidence and momentum the Lions have going into the final week of the regular season.
We're starting to get connected. We're clicking on all cylinders, and we're just mowing downhill. We're just going. And now all we have to do is focus on Essex, and if we win that game, think we're going to be unstoppable.
The team's really clicking, as Tyson Paul said, really connecting, but really that doesn't mean anything. Until we hold up that banner and we're champions, it doesn't mean anything. Record, home field advantage, beating Ottawa, nothing matters. We just got to hold up that banner at the end of the year.
Miles Foote had another outstanding performance for the Cambridge Lions Bantam team in their biggest win of the season last Saturday over Ottawa. First of all, Miles, just tell me about that performance. They came in here with a 5-0 record, and you guys really had your best game of the season. What did you see from the Lions last Saturday that allowed you to pick up that win?
We have the most physical defense in the league, so their offense, if they think they're going to come here and drop 40 points, that's not going to happen. And we have 2 of the most physical running backs in the league as well, and by far the best receiving core.
What I saw is the ability to get the ball thrown through the air and make plays, and also get it done on the ground, whether it be Keaton, whether it be Isaiah Party. Damian Plausta had a great game as well. Can you speak to the balanced attack that you guys have and how that's making a difference in your success this year?
At young leagues like this, there will normally only be like 2 star players on a team, but I feel like we have a really balanced team, so you're not just have to key on one player. There's lots of people.
How has Miles Foote played this year as the quarterback? Obviously, you're looked to be one of the leaders. I think you've played extremely well. You've been able to get the ball down the field. You've also been able to make those short, quick passes, which are obviously important as well. Yeah. How would you rate your performance in terms of contributing to the team? Because this is about the team, obviously, and the team's success. But without you, it wouldn't be going as well as it is.
I feel like I've played well. There's a couple of plays that I could have capitalized on, done better, but it's not just me as well. My receivers make big helps. The O-line up front, they do really well, and my running backs, they make good blocks.
Tell me a little bit about the bye week. You don't have a game this week. It's later in the season maybe for a bye week, but what's the importance of this week to get rested? I'm sure at this time of year, and don't tell me about the injuries because we don't talk about injuries here on 519 Sports, but the reality is there are bumps and bruises at this time of year. How do you view the bye week in terms of where it is in the schedule and how important it is for you guys?
Well, school's just ending as well, so maybe there'll be a bit more goofing around than normal. So everybody getting another week to rest up against another strong opponent in Essex will be good for us.
The Bantam boys are rolling right now, and it appears they are strong contenders for the OPFL championship this season. That is our show for this week. We hope you enjoyed it here on 519 Sports Online, and we look forward to seeing you here at the Jake this long weekend for what should be a couple of outstanding football games. Here's once again a look at the schedule. It is the Junior Varsity Lions hosting Mississauga on Friday night at 7:30. Then on Saturday, it's Senior Varsity action between the Lions and Warriors. Kickoff is also at 7:30. Cambridge with a chance to clinch a playoff spot in Senior Varsity football. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Darren Stevenson, and we will catch you next time on 519 Sports Online. For more highlights, visit our website, 519sportsonline.ca. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.